Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Skip E Lowe Looks at Hollywood. Tonight, Skippy's guests are that international singing star Al Martino and vocal impressionist Janice Hart. And now, here's that one-of-a-kind Skip E Lowe.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Looking at Hollywood today. We have a very interesting show for you today. We have one of America's great singing stars. Matter of fact, he is an international singing star because he just got back from Europe. Ladies and gentlemen, he has sold over millions of records. The wonderful Al Martino. Hello, Al.
Good evening. Good evening.
Millions of records, right?
How am I going to follow that introduction?
Spanish Eyes.
Spanish Eyes. No, that wasn't the first one, no.
It wasn't?
No, the very first recording I made was back in 1952, and that was Here in My Heart.
Here in My Heart. 52?
1952.
Al Martino. Yeah, and you've been going, and this is 1984, and you...
Oh, is it? Really?
1980, and you're still selling more records than ever.
Well, I'm doing very well. I'm very happy about it, especially in Europe I do well.
Yeah, where were you just now?
Europe, and in New Jersey I do very well.
In New Jersey?
Yeah.
All the Italians there. all the Italians.
There are Italians everywhere.
There are? In California
Sure.
don't have many Italians, do they, Al?
No, really?
Do they?
Of course they do.
Not as much as...
San Francisco has a lot of Italians.
San Francisco, yeah.
But Los Angeles has quite a lot of them, too.
Not really.
San Diego.
Not
Bakersfield.
Like Bakersfield?
Bakersfield.
Okay.
60% Italians.
Okay, fine. I accept that. But tell me something about your trip in Europe. What's happening in Europe? What were you doing?
Well, first of all, I just came back from Romeo and Juliet's for dinner. So,
Romeo and Juliet's,
yes.
That's on Beverly Drive in Beverly Hills.
Right. My good friend Vito.
Vito Sasso.
Right, now where do you want to go from here?
I want to know about your trip in Europe.
Oh. Well, we started off in London. Great Britain. I played all the provinces of Great Britain, which took about almost 3 weeks. And from there I went to Germany. And
Germany?
I went to Berlin, I went to Stuttgart and Cologne,
you did your concerts?
Frankfurt, yes.
Concerts,
Quite a few places there in Germany, and finished off in Vienna.
Oh.
Yeah, and I found Vienna a very exciting place. I was a little disappointed in the cuisine.
And you
I always
That's
thought that the cuisine in Vienna was absolutely fantastic.
Al Martino, the audience don't know, Al Martino is a great cook. That's what you really do.
Well,
That's
everyone says I'm a great cook.
Yes.
I don't know if I really am.
Vito Sasso told me that you're a great cook. Matter of fact, he's looking for you for a part-time
Well, let's say
cook.
that I enjoy cooking. I enjoy cooking. It all started many years ago on the road. Because it started actually in England in 1952.
How could that start on the road? You used to cook in the hotels or what? In your rooms?
Well, it had a lot to do with nourishment. You know, you have to have the proper nourishment, especially if you're away from home.
Right.
My show was 6 o'clock at night, was the first show.
Right.
And 9 o'clock was the second show.
Right.
Now, the restaurants in England opened at 7 p.m. and closed at 10, which means that there wasn't any nourishment.
Right.
Between the hours of 6 and 10. So the only thing that we had was cold chicken when we got out of the theater. There were no restaurants open in those days.
So how did
not to midnight and 1 o'clock in the morning.
Where did you cook? In the hotel rooms?
Well, after 6 months of this cold chicken, something had to be done. So we thought of the idea of preparing the food in our own suites, which was not permissible in the hotels. They didn't allow things like that. So we had to get permission. Some hotels thought it was all right, and some thought, no, we better not start a policy going where all the...
Carol Channing does that too, you know. I understand Carol does the same thing you do.
But it all started actually out of defense. That was the real reason.
Right.
And then it developed into more or less a hobby. Or something.
What is it, Italian food, Al, or French, or
no,
what?
it doesn't have to be Italian.
What is your dishes?
After all, you got to remember, I travel all over the world, and I do observe a lot in the various hotels and where I'm staying, and I may go to an occasional restaurant, and I see what they put together there, and I know the chefs, I know the owners of the hotel, like I know Vito, and we exchange our ideas and our likes in cuisine.
Do you have a book out?
No, I don't have a book.
You really don't have a cooking book?
I've been asked about that several times, about putting a book together.
Why don't you?
It's a very good idea. It's just that I have everything up in my head, and it's a matter of disciplining myself, pinning myself down for several hours each day, and that's what's difficult for me to do.
What is your favorite dish?
Maybe I can phone it in.
What is your favorite dish, Al? What is your favorite dish to cook, really?
I like those little peasant dishes, you know, like
peasant dishes.
Peasant dishes like spinach and beans together.
Oh,
or,
I see.
Or pasta and potatoes, or pasta and lentils.
Oh,
I like all those kind of
delicious.
dishes.
Yes,
They are.
yes.
And calamari with a red sauce, and on top of linguine or something like that. But it's not only talking about it, it's preparing it the perfect way. That's what I am obsessed about.
I see.
Preparing it the perfect way.
I see. But tell me something.
And I think I can do that.
You speak Italian?
Not fluently, not very
But you
well.
did the movie Godfather, the great film, The Godfather.
Yes.
And what part did you do with that?
I played the role of Johnny Fontaine.
Johnny Fontaine. That was a great part, really. That was your first film?
First film, yes.
First?
Yes.
Have you ever studied acting now?
No.
Never. That was just get in front of the camera and that was it?
Well,
I mean,
I read the book, you know, for one thing, and I always thought that I could play that part. And I do believe that if you have a good director, and if you know something about acting, I think you can get through that part.
That was a great part. That really
After all, the director was very important in the film, you know, Francis Coppola.
Right. Troy Donahue was in that film. He had a small part in that film, too.
Well, I didn't even know that. I just found out Marlon Brando was in it.
You didn't meet Marlon Brando? You mean, you're kidding. Tell me, Marlon Brando, what kind of, you met him. What kind of a guy was Marlon Brando?
Brando was a super guy.
He's very private, isn't he?
He's super. He's a Superman.
Yeah.
Superman, you get
Yeah,
that?
right.
And I got to tell you, he was very helpful.
Helpful in the what?
Well, at first, Marlon really didn't know whether he wanted to have me in that film. I mean, he didn't know I was in the film until I was ready to shoot the part.
Did Brando have a lot to do casting that film?
No.
No. I was just wondering.
But after all, he doesn't like to work with non-actors, and I can understand that. I mean, here I am, a singer, invading his domain. So, therefore, the day that I was supposed to shoot my part, Brando had asked Coppola, who are we shooting next? And I happened to be just a few feet from him. He didn't know that, though. And Coppola said, oh, we're going to get Al Martino to do the Johnny Fontaine part. He says, Al Martino, he says, he's not an actor, is he? And Francis says, no, you're right, he's not an actor, but we got to make it work somehow. And Marlon said, well, then you better get him drunk.
Brando said that.
Yeah, you better get him drunk.
Al, don't you think singers and comedians are really actors? I mean, really? To sell a song on stage, don't you think they have to be an actor to sell the song?
Well, I guess so.
Basically,
but there are certain things that they can't do. Certain things in movies that they can't do.
Like what? Like, I'd just like to know what you mean.
Well, you can't play a Marlon Brando part. You can't do a Jimmy Stewart part.
But you're not a Brando. You're a Al Martino.
I know, but when you get a script that requires that kind of expertise.
Right.
Expertise we're talking about.
But it's the director, too, can help you out.
Well, that's what I said earlier.
Yeah, director.
But he can only do so much. If the part requires another individual, another actor, then it must be done.
I thought you were wonderful in it. I must say, everybody thought you were great. Al Martino was great in it. You really were.
That's what I tried to tell Coppola at the beginning, you know.
So you just got back from Europe. 3 months you were away? 3 months?
3 months.
3 months?
I spent, I guess, about 7 weeks over there in Europe. The other 3 or 4 weeks was in Puerto Rico. And
Puerto
had a
Rico.
lovely time. I really did. I enjoyed it.
I understand the Sons of Italy just awarded you. You just got award from Sons of Italy, did you? Did you get an award from Sons of Italy?
No, where did you hear this rumor, Skip?
I just found out. I don't know. Someone.
I mean, I've been associated
didn't you do
with
Sons
the
of
Sons
Italy?
of Italy for 30 years.
And they didn't give you an award?
No, they can't afford it.
Didn't you just do a show for them? Did you do something for the Sons of Italy just recently?
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't. Okay, I got my information wrong.
Where did you get that information? From the Sons of Italy.
Sons of Italy, yeah. But I understand you're a good golfer, though. That's right.
I love to play golf.
You like to play golf?
Yeah.
Where do you play? Around on the West Coast here?
Well, we play at Lakeside. Very nice place there. And I have a member on the East Coast, sort of an out-of-state membership I have, near my mother's home. So I play there a lot.
Oh, your mother lives out here?
Yeah. I'm not a great golfer. I like to play golf. I'm more than a weekend golfer. Let's put it that way.
Al, tell me about the singers today. Such a great singer you are, Al Martino. When I think of the word Al Martino, I think is a great romantic singer, an Italian romantic singer. And the singers today, we don't have romantic singers today. Do you think, what do you think about the singers today, really? Male singers. I want your opinion now.
Well, male singers, now, it seems to me the emphasis...
Can you go out there and pick out a good male singer today coming up? Really?
Not as far as a romantic male singer singing a great ballad. That is that we don't have. I agree with you there.
The ballad singers, right. They're all, why are they all into this screaming and shouting?
Well, I'll tell you, I think the main reason, and I hope I'm not offending anybody, and is that we live right now in what you call a drug-oriented society. Oriented society.
Yeah.
And the drug-oriented society has enveloped a lot of writers who are drug-orientated.
Yes, right.
You see? And most of them really cannot compose that kind of a ballad.
Yeah, right.
Under the influence of drugs.
So you don't think there would be Sinatras and Al Martinos?
They're most what you call music-orientated.
Right, right.
They get turned on by the music, by the beat.
The beat, that's the thing, the beat.
By a good lyric.
Lyric, yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
You know, the days of the Sammy Kahns and the Irving Berlin and writers like that, they're not around anymore. I mean, even today, take a singer like Engelbert Humperdinck.
Yeah.
He would have a lot of trouble trying to find a good ballad.
Yes, yes, yes.
And he's a great ballad singer. He performs a good ballad. But where does he find them?
I'm talking about
he doesn't have them.
I'm talking about the young kids today. I mean,
but it all goes together, though.
Yeah,
see, it all comes. It's all relative. Ballads brought in the singers.
Right.
Singers bring in the ballads.
Right.
It all works together. It's like coffee and milk, or coffee and sugar, whatever. It goes together.
Yes.
Now, if there are no ballads being written, there are no singers to perform them.
True, true, true.
Because there's no one to pursue these creations of songs.
Do you believe there are clubs out there to perform? I mean, there aren't any clubs like we remember in the 50s, supper clubs.
No, there aren't.
Beautiful supper clubs. So what do you think's happening? Our show business
we don't really have anything between the East Coast and the West Coast. Well, there's nothing in between anymore. Las Vegas is diminishing as far as...
it is? Is it really?
Yes, they're using...
Is it Atlantic City taking over?
Yes, they're using a lot of book shows in Vegas now.
Right.
And they're using book shows in Atlantic City. At least Atlantic City is giving it a pretty good shot, though.
They are.
What I mean is they are making an attempt to bring in a lot of talent. I don't know whether it's a 2-show-a-night policy yet. But we do know that the first shows are usually packed.
What's happened to our supper clubs in America? I mean, back east, there are clubs back east, but in California, it doesn't seem like...
They cannot keep up with the expense, the overhead.
Is that what it is?
That's the real reason, the overhead. The overhead is what's knocking them out of business.
I see.
It isn't the price of the food. It's the price of... all the miscellaneous things that come in, all the expense, utilities. We'll give you a fine example. Utilities can really be expensive.
I see.
Then you've got all the various funds that have to be paid.
Well, what would you advise our young singers today in America or in the world how to prepare themselves if they have great voices like Al Martino?
I don't believe that there's a market for it.
You don't believe?
Skip, no.
There's a market for Boy George. Is that what you mean? Is that taking over our business, Boy George?
Well,
really?
you have to remember that it's the teenagers that really
always did
run the business.
Yeah, they always did, didn't
they? I mean, we all forget that we were all teenagers at one time. And when I had my very first record in 1952,
right.
Well, without those teenagers, I wouldn't be here today talking to you.
Why?
It was the teenagers that bought my records.
Yeah.
I remember now, the teenage, the age bracket has been lowered since then. There are, for instance, the people, the kids or the teenagers that buy Michael Jackson.
Yes.
Well, there are 10-year-olds,
yes.
9-year-olds, 8-year-olds probably. Well, they weren't buying...
You think an 8-year-old kid's making it?
I think that they see the television and they see the dancing going on.
So it's...
Yes, I saw a few 8-year-olds trying to emulate Michael Jackson.
So they're... yes, they are. That's true.
Sure, and they wear the Michael Jackson attire. You know, they copy that. And but when I first started, the age bracket was only 16, 15 on up. See, it wasn't below 15.
But you know something? In Canada, show business is a little different than America. they really like singers like Al Martino or Vic Damone's in Canada, much more so than America. They really do. Am I correct, Al? Now, be honest. There are clubs there for you to work.
No,
Am I correct?
not right now.
No?
No, Skip. No, there isn't.
Did
The
you just
bottom? Yes, I did. The bottom dropped right out of Canada.
It did?
Yes, it did.
So Boy George and Michael Jackson are really taking over Canada, too.
Yeah. It's international, Skip.
I can't believe that.
I mean, Michael Jackson and all those are very popular in Europe, too. Much more popular there than here.
Yes, true.
Frankly.
True. But you brought a clip for us that you
I did in Edmonton, Canada.
Edmonton?
Yes. I did a clip there, but that's television.
Yes.
See, and I worked one engagement in Canada last year. I don't think there's going to be any this year, but possibly next year, Skip.
Well, would you want to set up the clip? What is it?
Yes.
What is it? Set up the clip for us, Al.
It's a symphony orchestra of the Edmonton Symphony Orchestra. We did an hour concert there at a beautiful theater.
How many in the band?
There must have been about 50.
See, don't have that today.
No, because
just don't have it.
The costs.
Yeah.
No one can afford it.
Good.
No one can afford these costs of these. It's tough to do these shows, and I don't think he's doing these shows anymore because of that one reason.
Is it really?
Yes.
Well, I would like to introduce right now Al Martino doing his clip from Edmonton, Canada.
Gentlemen, Al Martino. Will be my song. You will be my music. I can't wait any longer for my song. I hear music when I look at you, a beautiful thing of every dream I ever knew. Down deep in my heart, I hear it play. I feel it start, then melts away. I hear music when I touch your hand, a beautiful melody from some enchanted land. Down deep in my heart, I hear it say, is this the day? I alone have heard this lovely strain. I alone have heard this glad refrain. Must it be forever inside of me? Why can't I let it go? Why can't I let you know? Why can't I let you know the song my heart will sing? That beautiful rhapsody of love and youth and spring. The music is sweet, the words are true, the song is you. The song is you. Will be my music. I can't wait any longer to sing my song.
That's great, Al. Great.
Thank you.
Good God, that's 50 men up there.
And also, and a very huge orchestra.
50. It really sounds great.
I know. I'm sorry. A very huge audience.
Audience.
We had a
the audience.
packed house that night.
Really?
Yeah.
Al, why a Broadway show? Is that
Yes.
Is that Al Martino?
I would like to give that a try.
You would be wonderful. You know in what?
I'd like to do it.
You know what?
Which one?
9.
You think so?
I think you would be absolutely wonderful in 9.
Is that right?
What do you think?
Well,
did you ever thought about it?
Someone
have they
suggested that I do that.
9, you'd be wonderful.
You think so?
Yes, I do. When I think
well,
of it, yeah, it's a great show.
Where can we go with it? I don't know. It's already been to L.A., hasn't it? Been to L.A.
It has been to L.A.? Yeah, it has been. Yes, right.
Yes.
Yeah. But they're taking it. I don't know. Take it to Europe. Take it to Europe. I think you'd be great in it. I really do. Even Canada. You'd be wonderful in it. Al, do you know right now I have a lovely young lady I would like you to meet.
All right.
She's a very beautiful young lady. She has worked in my showcase, matter of fact, and she is a very, very talented young lady by the name of Miss Janice Hart. Let's give her a nice round. Hello, Janice. How are you, darling? My, you're in blue, my dear.
I know, I am.
Pretty blue. How are you?
Great.
So
How about you?
Well, it's hot out there today, isn't it, honey?
Yes.
So tell me about, you brought some friends with you today?
Oh, yes, I
Who
brought
did you bring?
Well, I brought, oh, Skippy, it is so nice to be here. Hiya, how are you?
Yeah.
Can we talk here?
We can talk. We can talk.
First of all, Skippy, do you like what I'm wearing?
I love it.
Boy George wore it to his senior prom. Isn't he terrific? Oh, he's gorgeous. He's absolutely gorgeous. He, you know, I think he's almost as gorgeous as Elizabeth Taylor.
Is he?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, are you kidding? Thank God he's not as fat as her.
Yes, he is.
Oh,
yes, he is. He's
oh,
fat.
Is he?
He's fat.
Oh, well, you know, well, Elizabeth Taylor, are you kidding? Grow up. Just grow up. Her dress size is the same as her zip code, Skippy.
Why do you like Boy George?
Oh, well, you know, he's so new, attractive, whatever. I don't know. But,
Why don't you support your Americans?
Oh.
Joan, support Americans. Go ahead.
Okay,
Don't
well,
support the English. We have enough English over here in this country. Huh?
Yeah, I guess you're right, Skippy.
Okay.
But actually, darling, I would like to bring out my dear, dear friend. She's an absolutely wonderful singer.
I hope she's American.
Oh, she is, absolutely. She's from Tennessee. Can help me give a warm welcome to Miss Dinah Shore. Come on up there, Dinah. Come on, darling. Miss Dinah Shore. Thank you. Hi there, Skippy.
Hi, darling.
Hi there, Al. How are you? It's wonderful to be on the show with Al, because I love to sing. In fact, I'm Dinah Shore. And I died in 1949. Isn't that wonderful?
Yes.
And I'm going to sing a wonderful song by my wonderful conductor, who has a wonderful arrangement of that wonderful song called You Are the Wonderful Sunshine of My Wonderful, Wonderful Life. Okay?
Go ahead.
Thank you. It's
Wonderful.
Thank
Wonderful.
you. It's by Stevie Wonderful. Yeah, here we go. I love to sing. Here we go. You are the sun. Wait, wait, wait a minute. You, wait. I got it. Wait. You, okay. You, wait. Hold it. Stop the music, darling. You know I hate those fancy intros. Oh, Skippy, I hate them. Why don't we just start with a note back there? We'll start with a note. Okay? You. Wait. You. Okay, you. I got it, okay. You are the sunshine of my life. That's why I'll always be around you.
Yes.
You. What is it? You. Excuse me, Al. Skippy.
Right. That's all right.
You know, I must have got a cold. Well, sure, darling, that's why I can't sing. Yeah. You know, I must have caught a cold at that nudist beach I went to yesterday. For the first time, a nude beach. It was really something. You know, I picked up a conch seashell, and I heard heavy breathing. Anyway, it's been a wonderful treat to be on the show, Skippy, with Al Martino. You're an absolutely wonderful singer. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Oh, that's fine, Dinah. Thank you.
Okay, that's it.
How many impressions do you do, Janice?
Well, Skippy, I really don't do a whole lot of impressions.
But you sing.
I'm a singer,
Actress.
comedian, actress. I don't really specialize in.
Oh, you are an actress.
Yeah, I'm a comedic actress, of course.
And you used to teach exercise, didn't you?
Yeah, I had my dancer-size show on.
On Group W?
Yes, I did.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I see.
For a while.
That's why you're good in shape, huh, dear?
Right.
Yeah. So tell me about your career. What's happening with your life now? What are you doing?
Well, I just started back at entertaining again, doing my act.
Right.
And I'm working now in Westwood at a club.
Where in Westwood here?
Bernie's on the Roof.
Oh, it's a nice room up at
Yeah,
the top.
it's a gorgeous
What
little
days are
room.
you there?
Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Ah. I'm gonna
Sometimes,
come.
and Sunday this weekend.
You
Sunday.
do a whole show, a one-woman show?
About a half-hour show.
Half-hour show? Uh-huh. No one's else on the show with you, just you?
There's a couple other entertainers.
There
on
are
the
a
bill.
couple more?
Right.
I said, where are you from, Janice?
From Detroit.Al Martino.
Where?
Corona-Del Mar. It's Newport Beach area.
Oh, you're a California girl.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
yeah.
I see.
Born and raised.
Born and raised.
All right.
And Janice Hart. Remember when I discovered you at the Hyatt on Sunset?
Yes, you helped me get my act together.
That's right, on Sunset.
I worked at the Comedy Store in an improv group.
Right.
And then I started working on my own solo act.
She does a comedy lady.
The Continental Hyatt House.
At the Hyatt Hotel, yeah, right on Sunset. And so now you're doing a whole complete new act now.
Yeah.
So that's
It's
great.
exciting. It's neat.
It is, you know. So have you done movies, Janice? Done any films?
Well, you know, the only movies I've done is I've gone to the movies, actually. I've gone to the movies. I haven't been in a movie, but you were in The World's Greatest Lover.
Oh, yeah, that's a long time ago.
But I'm going to do some movies.
Yes?
TV. I want to do TV, situation comedy.
So what would you advise our young people out there, Janice, if they want to come to Hollywood and how to get in the business?
Well,
what would you advise
I would say just keep it up, just work as much as you can, and persist, because I'm not going to give up until I make it.
Persist. That's
and believe in yourself.
That's it. Believe. Persist. Yeah. What is that? Is that the word?
That's one of the first words I learned.
But you've been in the business a long time, 50.
Well, you got to remember though, Skip. Back in those days, there wasn't much competition.
Why?
I mean, it was a very small. Really? We were only a very small group of people.
Johnny Ray,
looking
James,
to make it big.
Yeah, Jerry Vale.
They all did it. And the thing is that everyone in that group became successful.
Yeah, right.
Everyone. One or two may have fell by the wayside, but it's amazing how all of them achieved their goals. But we had a lot of talent shows back in those days that were really fantastic. You gotta remember Off the Godfrey, which was a good stepping stone.
We have one now, though. It's as Sam Harris is on. What was that? Star Search. What do you think about that one? Isn't that a stepping stone for young people today? This new television show.
It's not as like it was
Off the Godfrey. Right.
Well, I'll tell you what the Godfrey thing was.
I agree.
When you won that show, if you won, you were on his weekly show.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
On especially the radio part of it, every morning for a week. So you got what you call continued exposure right after that.
Yes, okay.
And then none of that, but there were recording companies that were looking for talent. I'll give you an idea. I was discovered on the Godfrey show, actually.
You
my
were?
first record
I see,
was a gentleman, a writer, was watching the show. And have we got time to...
No, we don't. We're going to cut, but that's right.
I was discovered in New York City at a restaurant.
Al Martino, thank you for coming.
Thank you, Skip.
You're great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have been looking at Hollywood today, but I must tell you, there is a woman out there who is hosting The Tonight Show, and she is making $1 million for 8 weeks' work. Only in America that could happen. This is Skip E Lowe. Thank you. They're rolling now.
On top of linguine or something like that. But it's not only talking about it, it's preparing it the perfect way. That's what I am obsessed about.
I see.
Preparing it the perfect way.
I see. But tell me something.
And I think I can do that.
You speak Italian?
Not fluently, not very
But you did the movie Godfather, the great film, The Godfather.
Yes.
And what part did you do with that? And I
played the role of Johnny Fontaine.
Johnny Fontaine. That was a great part, really. That was your first film?
First film, yes.
First?
Yes.
Have you ever studied acting now?
No.
Never. That was just get in front of the camera and that was it?
Well,
I mean,
I read the book, you know, for one thing, and I always thought that I could play that part. And I do believe that if you have a good director, and if you know something about acting, I think you can get through that part.
That was a great part. That really
after all, the director was very important in the film, you know, Francis Coppola.
Right, right. Troy Donahue was in that film. He had a small part in that film, too.
Well, I didn't even know that. I just found out Marlon Brando was in it.
You didn't meet Marlon Brando? You mean, you're kidding. Elle, tell me, Marlon Brando, what kind of, you met him. What kind of a guy was Marlon Brando?
Brando was a super guy.
He's very private, isn't he?
He's super. He's a Superman.
Yeah.
Superman, you get
Yeah,
that?
right.
And I got to tell you, he was very helpful.
Helpful in the what?
Well, at first, Marlon really didn't know whether he wanted to have me in that film. I mean, he didn't know I was in the film until I was ready to shoot the part.
Did Brando have a lot to do casting that film?
No.
No. I was just wondering.
But after all, he doesn't like to work with non-actors, and I can understand that. And here I am, a singer, invading his domain. So therefore, the day that I was supposed to shoot my part, Brando had asked Coppola, who are we shooting next? And I happened to be just a few feet from him. He didn't know that, though. And Coppola said, oh, we're going to get Al Martino to do the Johnny Fontaine part. He says, Al Martino, he says, he's not an actor, is he? And Francis says, no, you're right, he's not an actor, but we got to make it work somehow. And Marlon said, well, then you better get him drunk.
Brando said that.
Yeah, you better get him drunk.
Al, don't you think singers and comedians are really actors? I mean, really? To sell a song on stage, don't you think they have to be an actor to sell the song?
Well, I guess so.
Basically,
but there are certain things that they can't do. Certain things in movies that they can't do.
Like what? Like, I just like to know what you mean. Right.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Skip E Lowe Looks at Hollywood. Tonight, Skippy's guests are that international singing star Al Martino and vocal impressionist Janice Hart. And now, here's that one-of-a-kind Skip E Lowe.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Looking at Hollywood today. We have a very interesting show for you today. We have one of America's great singing stars. Matter of fact, he is an international singing star because he just got back from Europe. Ladies and gentlemen, he has sold over millions of records. The wonderful Al Martino. Hello, Al.
Well, good evening. Good evening.
Millions of records, right?
How am I going to follow that introduction?
Spanish Eyes.
Spanish Eyes. That wasn't the first one, no.
It wasn't?
No, the very first recording I made was back in 1952, and that was Here in My Heart.
Here in My Heart. 52?
1952.
Al Martino. Yeah. And you've been going, and this is 1984, and you...
Oh, is it? Really?
1980,
84?
and you're still selling more records than ever.
Well, I'm doing very well. I'm very happy about it, especially in Europe I do well.
Yeah, where were you just now?
Europe, and in New Jersey I do very well.
In New Jersey?
Yeah.
All the Italians there? all the Italians?
There are Italians everywhere.
There are? In California
Sure.
Don't have many Italians, do they, Al?
No, really?
Do they?
Of course they do.
Not as much as...
San Francisco has a lot of Italians.
San Francisco, yeah.
But Los Angeles has quite a lot of them, too.
Not really.
San Diego.
Not
Bakersfield.
Bakersfield?
Bakersfield.
Okay.
60% Italians.
Okay, fine. I accept that. But tell me something about your trip in Europe. What's happening in Europe? Where were you doing?
Well, first of all, I just came back from Romeo and Juliet's for dinner. So,
Romeo and Juliet's,
yes.
That's on Beverly Drive in Beverly Hills.
Right. My good friend Vito.
Vito Sasso.
Right, now where do you want to go from here?
I want to know about your trip in Europe.
Oh. Well, we started off in London, Great Britain. I played all the provinces of Great Britain, which took about almost 3 weeks. And from there I went to Germany. And
Germany.
I went to Berlin, I went to Stuttgart and Cologne,
you did your concerts?
Frankfurt, yes.
Concerts,
Quite a few places there in Germany, and finished off in Vienna.
Oh.
Yeah, and I found Vienna a very exciting place. I was a little disappointed in the cuisine.
And you
I always
That's
thought that the cuisine in Vienna was absolutely fantastic.
Al Martino, the audience don't know, Al Martino is a great cook. That's what you really do.
Well, everyone says I'm a great cook.
Yes.
I don't know if I really am.
Vito Sasso told me that you're a great cook. Matter of fact, he's looking for you for a part-time
Well, let's say that I enjoy cooking. I enjoy cooking. It all started many years ago on the road. Because it started actually in England in 1952.
How could that start on the road? You used to cook in the hotels or what, in your rooms?
Well, it had a lot to do with nourishment. You know, you have to have the proper nourishment, especially if you're away from home.
Right.
My show was 6 o'clock at night, was the first show.
Right.
And 9 o'clock was the second show.
Right.
Now, the restaurants in England opened at 7 p.m. and closed at 10, which means that there wasn't any nourishment between the hours of 6 and 10. So the only thing that we had was cold chicken when we got out of the theater. There were no restaurants open in those days.
So how did
not to midnight and 1 o'clock in the morning.
Where did you cook? In the hotel rooms?
Well, after 6 months of this cold chicken, something had to be done. So we thought of the idea of preparing the food in our own suites, which was not permissible in the hotels. They didn't allow things like that. So we had to get permission. Some hotels thought it was all right, and some thought, no, we better not start a policy going where all the...
Carol Channing does that too, you know. I understand Carol does the same thing you do.
But it all started actually out of defense. That was the real reason.
Right.
And then it developed into more or less a hobby. Or something.
What is it, Italian food, Al, or French, or what?
No, it doesn't have to be Italian.
What is your dishes?
After all, you got to remember, I travel all over the world, and I do observe a lot. In the various hotels and where I'm staying, and then I may go to an occasional restaurant and I see what they put together there, and I know the chefs, I know the owners of the hotel, like I know Vito, and we exchange our ideas and our likes in cuisine.
Do you have a book out?
No, I don't have a book.
You really don't have a cooking book?
I've been asked about that several times about putting a book together.
Why don't you?
It's a very good idea. It's just that I have everything up in my head, and it's a matter of disciplining myself, pinning myself down for several hours each day, and that's what's difficult for me to do.
What is your favorite dish?
Maybe I can phone it in.
What is your favorite dish, Al? What is your favorite dish to cook, really?
I like those little peasant dishes, you know, like
peasant dishes.
Peasant dishes like spinach and beans together.
Oh, I see.
Or pasta and potatoes, or pasta and lentils.
Oh,
I like all those kind
delicious.
of dishes. They are. And calamari with a red sauce. And you can't play a Marlon Brando part. You can't do a Jimmy Stewart part.
But you're not a Brando. You're Al Martino.
I know, but when you get a script that requires that kind of expertise.
Right.
Expertise we're talking about.
But it's the director, too, can help you out.
Well, that's what I said earlier.
Yeah, director.
But he can only do so much. If the part requires another individual, another actor, then it must be done.
I thought you were wonderful in it. I must say, everybody thought you were great. Al Martino was great in it. You really were.
That's what I tried to tell Coppola at the beginning, you know.
So you just got back from Europe. 3 months you were away? 3 months?
3 months.
3 months?
I spent, I guess, about 7 weeks over there in Europe. The other 3 or 4 weeks was in Puerto Rico. And
Puerto
had a
Rico.
lovely time. I really did. I enjoyed it.
I understand the Sons of Italy just awarded you. You just got an award from Sons of Italy, did you? Did you get an award from Sons of Italy?
No, where did you hear this rumor, Skip?
I just found out. I don't know. Someone
I mean, I've been associated with
Sons
the Sons
of
Italy for 30 years.
And they didn't give you an award?
No, they can't afford it.
Didn't you just do a show for them? Did you do something for the Sons of Italy just recently?
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't. Okay, I got my information wrong.
Where did you get that information? From the Sons of Italy.
Sons of Italy, yeah. But I understand you're a good golfer, though. That's right.
I love to play golf.
You like to play golf?
Yeah.
Where do you play? Around on the West Coast here?
Well, we play at Lakeside. Very nice place there. And I have a member on the East Coast, sort of an out-of-state membership I have, near my mother's home. So I play there a lot.
Oh, your mother lives out here?
Yeah. I'm not a great golfer. I like to play golf. I'm more than a weekend golfer, let's put it that way.
Al, tell me about the singers today. Such a great singer you are, Al Martino. When I think of the word Al Martino, I think is a great romantic singer, an Italian romantic singer. And the singers today, we don't have romantic singers today. What do you think about the singers today, really? Male singers. I want your opinion now.
Well, male singers, now, it seems to me the emphasis...
Can you go out there and pick out a good male singer today coming up? Really?
Not as far as a romantic male singer singing a great ballad. That is that we don't have. I agree with you there.
The ballad singers, right. Why are they all into this screaming and shouting?
Well, I'll tell you, I think the main reason, and I hope I'm not offending anybody, and is that we live right now in what you call a drug-oriented society.
Drug, yes.
Oriented society.
Yeah.
And the drug-oriented society has enveloped a lot of writers who are drug-orientated.
Yes, right.
You see?
Yes,
And most of them really cannot compose that kind of a ballad.
Yeah, right.
Under the influence of drugs.
So you don't think there would be no Sinatras and Al Martinos?
They're most what you call music orientated.
Right, right.
They get turned on by the music, by the beat.
The beat,
But
that's the
not
thing, the beat.
by a good lyric.
Lyric, yeah.
You see.
Yeah.
You know, these are the Sammy Kahns and the Irving Berlin and writers like that. They're not around anymore. I mean, even today, take a singer like Engelbert Humperdinck.
Yeah.
He would have a lot of trouble trying to find a good ballad.
Yes, yes, yes.
And he's a great ballad singer. He performs a good ballad. But where does he find
But
them?
I'm talking about
he doesn't have them.
I'm talking about the young kids today. I mean,
but it all goes together, though.
Yeah,
see, it all comes. It's all relative. Ballads brought in the singers.
Right.
Singers bring in the ballads.
Right.
It all works together. It's like coffee and milk, or coffee and sugar, whatever. It goes together.
Yes,
now,
right.
if there are no ballads being written, there are no singers to perform them.
True, true, true.
Because there's no one to pursue these creations of songs.
Do you believe there are clubs out there to perform? I mean, there aren't any clubs like we remember in the 50s,
No, there
supper
aren't.
clubs.
No, there aren't.
Beautiful
No.
supper clubs. So what do you think's happening to our show business
We
today?
don't really have anything between the East Coast and the West Coast. Well, there's nothing in between anymore. Las Vegas is diminishing as far as...
It is? Is it really?
Yes, they're using
Is it Atlantic City taking over? Is
yes,
it?
they're using a lot of book shows in Vegas now.
Right.
And they're using book shows in Atlantic City. But at least Atlantic City is giving it a pretty good shot, though.
They are.
What I mean is they are making an attempt to bring in a lot of talent. I don't know whether it's a 2-show-a-night policy yet. But we do know that the first shows are usually packed.
What's happened to our supper clubs in America? I mean, back east, there are clubs back east, but in California, doesn't seem like...
They cannot keep up with the expense, the overhead.
Is that what it is?
That's the real reason, the overhead. The overhead is what's knocking them out of business.
I see.
It isn't the price of the food. It's the price of all the miscellaneous things that come in, all the expense. Utilities. We'll give you a fine example. Utilities can really be expensive.
I see.
Then you've got all the various funds that have to be paid.
Well, what would you advise our young singers today in America or in the world